Cabrini Ministries is a faith-based, community-based organization. We've actually been working down in Swaziland since 1971 as a TB and AIDS organization, began in 2004.
Initially, we were focusing mainly on HIV, AIDS, and other related issues, including TB. But of late, we've also incorporated the primary health care services in all our services.
We're at a new time. We're at a time when life has really been restored. You know, somebody said once, you know what Cabrini is doing? It's restoring life. And so we used it as our vision statement, restoring life. And life has been restored. I have to say, life has been restored. It's much better than it's ever been. People are healthy, they're working.
Our core business is education. Educating the children, getting them in school, and hopefully let them finish, because with education, you break the cycle of poverty.
Here at childcare, we do a study where we study in the evening from 6:30. We conduct a study with them. At 4 p.m. we do have we call it a Cabrini arithmetic reading enhancement. So the children, we're trying to help them in maths and also in English. I think we have hardly heard people speaking in English here. So we end up not knowing the language well, yet it is an international language. So we're trying to help our children to be more equipped with the language.
At childcare, what we do here is we take children in, and the kind of children we take in are children who are maybe from very disadvantaged homes, backgrounds. You find that maybe at home there's a koko, or the children are far from school, or there's just not a good home that can keep the child through the school term. So we take the children in to our boarding hostel. They stay in, but school holidays, we take the children back home because there is a home. So what we do is we co-parent with the family. We keep them during school term, assist them with their studying and schooling.
I came here in 2002 and I was 3 years. I started my preschool here at Cabrini in 2003 and I was 3 years old. And now I'm doing from 2. Cabrini helped me a lot. He helped me with education, and because at home there was no one to get me to school, and Cabrini helped me a lot. We have got aunties to encourage us and teaching us life skills, especially handcraft.
We have got, I'll say, 2 departments. There is the drop-in center, which is the healthcare department, and also we're doing community outreach, whereby we are reaching to the people who are outside. We are traveling maybe now 5 days a week. It sometimes can be 7 days a week, because even over the weekends, you probably maybe have to be traveling to some homesteads whereby there's somebody who's sick, then take care of them. It's always worth it to travel, because one, she's living probably 80 kilometers from where we are. He's also living another 80 kilometers from maybe the main hospital where he can go, when they can go to. The problem is they don't have transport. Even if they do have transport, there is no money maybe to pay for the transport. So that is when we have to travel from here to them to provide the service. So that is why you have to travel maybe each and every day a radius of about 60 kilometers, trying to reach them, trying to bring the service to their doorsteps at their homesteads. So we do provide food. We usually call it food supplements. The reason being that the communities we render services to, most of them, they are poverty stricken. There is quite a lot of poverty around the communities which you normally visit. So you will find that probably one person maybe has to take a certain medication. Looking at the nutritional support, you'll find that nutritional wise, they don't have much food, nutritional food, which can help them. So that is when we come in. We also provide the nutritional support to those patients. So that is how we end up providing them with the food supplements.
What we began to see is that there were too many issues happening in the homesteads that the nurses and the child care people just didn't have time to deal with. From that, we decided to start a family services department that would be caseworkers and social workers who would go out. They would receive information from child care and from health care, and they would go out into the homesteads, do full assessments, and see what were the issues that were really keeping people from being adherent to their medicine.
Family services started when the other departments, which is child care, health care, and the education department, when they are going out to do their services, they had some issues. The other issues like health care will go out for treating the patients, but there are other issues that they can counter at the families. But because healthcare is just for treating people, family services was introduced to deal with the other issues like issues of neglect and issues of abuse and any other social issues. And the other challenge is that the people in the community are not educated on social issues, like when a child is not maintained by the father, they don't know what to do and they don't know where to go.
There was no time to sit down and talk to a client whenever a client has got issues. Because there were a lot of people who were coming here, and this department has helped a lot. Because these people, when you visited them in the homestead, you just get enough time and get the whole story about a homestead, and after that you intervene.
One of the biggest problems that brought us to the Family Services Department was the fact that we had so many of the infants and children who were HIV positive whose parents were not bringing them in for their refills once they started antiretroviral drugs. And it was a real child protection issue. Because if you want to talk about abuse, there's physical abuse, there's sexual abuse, but there's also the abuse of allowing your child to die because you don't take them in for the medicine that they need.
That is where we refer our cases. We call them the psychosocial cases because we travel lots around the communities. Sometimes we find cases maybe which need some kind of a psychosocial support. So we cannot provide everything. Maybe we can provide the curative part. Probably maybe we cannot provide the psychosocial support. Then that is when we will refer those cases to social services.
The issues that are big today are child protection, women's rights, ongoing health care for all the people, education. The crisis today is more of a hidden crisis, and the hidden crisis is the impact of 35 years of HIV, TB, AIDS, and death.
Major challenges were with our girls. You know, when we had the school holiday, there was so much freedom with the children in the home front. Because when children came back after the January holiday, which is like a 6 weeks holiday, there was pregnancies.
So we decided to do the camps to break those, to make their stay at home to be so small, the days to be so small. So that's why we started the camps.
Since the camps came in, there's nightly meetings that the house mothers do in the dormitories after study, talk to the children about life in general. It's cut down drastically. In the past 2 years, we've had just 1 pregnancy. And other times we'd have 4 in a year.
I've been here since 2005. My purpose to be here was to get education. And I've benefited a lot because they've taken me good care of, and I have a lot of guidance, and some people are tutoring me to improve my studies. I've been here doing grade 1, now I'm in Form 2. We get courage, we get whatever, and we forgot about what is in our homestead. But they always remind us that home is the sweetest thing.
Our children are the future generation. Children are, you know. And if there's anything that we can do positively to a child, you know that you've helped that child be a better citizen, one, and there's a better generation to come.
Because in the world we're all brothers and sisters. We all belong to God, and God is our Father, and we're all brothers and sisters, that we could through our behavior, through our actions, through our loving care, let people know that God loves them and that God continues to love them.
Family services will grow in future by working together with those relatives, especially relatives for the children that we are working with, and even the people of the communities, when they will work together with Cabrini, not to let Cabrini work alone. So I think that's one thing which will make Cabrini Family Services to expand.
Cabrini having this department, I think it benefited the community because it wasn't there before. As we are working with other government offices, it was the first time when Family Services started to work with the government offices. So now it's like Cabrini is becoming to be known in the community than before.
Cabrini is doing a wonderful job. What Cabrini does is it meets the whole need. Cabrini is keeping parents healthier, longer, living longer from our health care. It's also giving primary care. Cabrini has a family social department which looks into the other areas of the child. Cabrini has the child care that accommodates the child. Cabrini has the health department that is doing an excellent job. It's keeping parents alive longer, and it's giving parents hope. And with parents living longer, they are here to take care of their kids. And with them taking care of their kids, then that means the children are getting the love and the emotional side. And for the kids who have lost their parents and need to be here, we also have the Family Services Department that would do extras like unification, getting them linked to who they are, their backgrounds. So with all this working together, collaborating, it's doing a wonderful job because it's all under one umbrella, Cabrini, although it's different departments doing all that.
I think the working as a team, it has helped us a lot because whatever we have achieved, it's not one person, it's not a one-man mission, it's everybody. Everybody is involved. If we go out to the communities to do the education, because that is also one part which we have strength in, the education. We start with the education, we make sure that we disseminate the information, the people understand what is happening, the people understand what is it that they are supposed to do, what is expected of them, what will be the outcomes or to whatever maybe they are being taught. So we start with the education, then we come to the treatment. So I think everybody is involved in as far as the education is concerned. We know each other's challenges in as far as the work is concerned. We try to help each other in addressing whatever challenges we come across. So that is why in a daily basis we meet before we start whatever supposed to do, and then we do some kind of a debriefing. Everybody's on board. They know what is happening in outreach. We know those who are in outreach, they know what was happening in the drop-in center.
The monies that have been sent, that are being sent to assist the children in Swaziland is really having a huge impact because of all the positives that we are counting into what we are seeing of our kids. We really need the support of the outside world to support the parents to live longer, take their medication, adhere, then the kids will have their parents longer. For the kids that have lost their parents and they need to be put in a place like maybe our hostel, Cabrini Hostel, or any other home for that matter, we're really grateful for it because it gives these children a hope and it cuts down on child-headed households, you know. So there is a lot that we need the support from whichever angle that support comes from. It is needed for the country.
Cabrini helped me in providing me with food, clothes and shelter because at Homestead we only had 2 houses, and because my mom went away and there was no one to look after that, as a result they collapsed. And I have lot of wishes, but I haven't decided any first prior which career I want to do.
So at the end of our lives, we're only going to be judged on love. That's all. And love is hard work. Sometimes it's a good feeling. Most of the time it's hard work. And so if there was a message to anybody and to the good people who live here and who have suffered a lot and know how to suffer, and they've suffered a lot, I think it's that they really be faithful in loving one another and taking care of each other, adults taking care of each other and taking care of the children, because that is what will give a foundation for the regrowth of Swaziland.